Hey, I'm Michael Lunsford here, Citizens for a New Louisiana, and we're going through this series where we're talking about local candidates that are going to be on your ballot on November the 3rd. It's not just the President of the United States. There's a lot going on, so it's important that you educate yourself and know what you're going to do when you appear at the voting booth, because showing up with 30 things on the ballot that you didn't know about is never a good idea. So here we go. We're going to get started. This is Miss Susan Theall. She is running for
Family Court Judge, Division M, 15th Judicial District. And thank you so much, Mike, for having me here.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
appreciate it.
Glad to have you. Now, one of the questions that I get a lot about these different judicial races is whose ballot will you be on? So what part of Lafayette Parish do you appear on the ballot?
It's really confusing, Michael, and I've had so many questions about this. There are about 6 judicial races on the ballot. There are at least 3 candidates for each race. And so you'll notice that there are different divisions. Family Court is the division that I'm running for. It's Division M. Division M is the voting district is everything south of I-10. It includes Dussault, Scott, Youngsville, Broussard, Milton, and all of South Lafayette.
Wow.
So we have about 7 precincts that are on the north side of Lafayette, but primarily it's south side, and like I said, Dussault and Scott. So it's a huge district.
Okay, now this is strictly family law.
This is family court. By permission of the Louisiana Supreme Court, 2 divisions of the 15th Judicial District Court have been designated as family court. That's Division H and Division M. There is no competition for Division H. That's Judge Blanchette. So there are 3 candidates running for Division M, which is the family court seat.
Now, we've seen, just historically and in the news, everybody always wants to talk about the other law. No one ever wants to talk about family law, but it's really the most important race. It's the most important part of the law because in South Louisiana, we're very family oriented, aren't we?
That's the way I feel, Michael. You know, my very first case that I handled was a custody case, and I realized how important family law was. And as you said, in South Louisiana, family is everything. For the Republican Party, family is everything. And so people sometimes forget that this is a very important judicial race. We have to have someone who has the requisite experience, who has some thorough knowledge in family law, who has been a part of this area of law, and I'm that candidate. I've practiced law for 34 years. I've owned my own law firm specializing in family law. And if I may, tell me when to shut up.
Well, let me ask you. Let's ask you a specific question about that because
sure.
I've heard that you were the only candidate in the race who is board certified for family law. What does that mean? Tell me about that.
That is correct. The Louisiana Supreme Court in 1995 gave permission to the Legal Board of Specialization of the Louisiana Bar Association to offer designations for specialists in different areas of law. And so there are a number of specialists. There are 18,000 lawyers in the state, or a little over 18,000. There are numerous different specialties. One of the specialties is family law. And so I've been a board certified family law specialist since 1995, so going on 25 years, which is kind of amazing to realize. And I am the only candidate in this race who is a board-certified family law specialist. I think that's an important designation. I think it's an important characteristic that sets me apart from the other candidates because they are not board-certified.
Right. Now, we'd also talked a little earlier about there is a distinct difference between being a judge in family law and an attorney in family law.
Yes. You know, being an attorney in family law, we always try to focus our clients on what's in the child's best interest because that's what it's all about. But we're an advocate. So as a lawyer, you advocate for your client, whether it's mom or dad, always trying to focus them on what's in their child's best interest. As a family court judge, you're in the unique position of stepping back and being a complete neutral. And so what you're trying to do as the judge is truly do what's in a child's best interest without regard to what mom or dad feels, but what's in a child's best interest. And that's what the law requires. Civil code requires that certain factors be considered, and so a judge has to consider those factors without regard to mom or dad. As I said, it's just what's in a child's best interest.
Right. And these aren't all theoretical things that you've thought up. This is you were actually a family court judge for a time, weren't
That's
you?
right. And again, I'm the only candidate in the race who was a former family court judge. I was a family court judge because it's where my heart is, it's where my passion is, and it's where I believe that I can best serve the community again. I was part of some really great programs as family court judge, and I can talk about those if you'd like.
Yeah, we had talked earlier about some ideas you had if you were fortunate enough to get back to be the judge of for family law here in Lafayette. You had some ideas and some things that you thought would be or should be implemented. One of the ideas that spoke to me was when you said everyone has to show up at 9:30 in the morning and wait all day.
Yeah, it's a zoo. I believe that we can run family court much more efficiently. I think we can do that using technology, but we can also use it with some sort of scheduling device. Currently, there are about 40 cases set for hearing on a trial day, and that makes for kind of chaos. When you think about 40 cases, that's 40 moms and 40 dads, so that's 80 people. And then you add in witnesses, that may be another 20 or 30 people, and they're all told to show up at one time, and they wait around all day, unsure as to when they're going to start. One of the things that I did when I was family court judge is always try to have pretrial conferences prior to the court date or before the court time started. It's a more efficient use of time. You're able to help lawyers see if they can resolve cases without actually having to go to court. And then when you actually start your day and you start calling your docket, you can see how many cases actually have to be heard. Because quite frankly, while there may be 40 cases set on a day, many of those will often resolve with a conference with the judge. So one of my ideas is to have pretrial conferences either before court starts or even the day before court starts. And then once you knock down some of the people who decide they don't want to go to court and who they can settle, then assigning times for the other people to come. What I don't like as a lawyer and what I didn't like as a judge was wasting people's time, making them wait around all day, wondering if they were even going to get heard. They're having to take time off of work. Their friends are having to take time off of work. And so I just think that there's some things that we can do to run court more efficiently. Mm-hmm. The last thing I want to mention, we've talked about technology. I do like technology. During the COVID shutdown, there are a couple of judges who used Zoom conferences, and I thought that was a very efficient use of time. And so that's one of the things that I'd like to try to use in family court should I be elected again.
Right, because you don't have to show up at 9:30 for a Zoom call.
That's right.
You can schedule it at the right time. And another thing you didn't mention is while they're sitting around waiting, their attorney's waiting with them, and the meter's running.
That's right. And as a lawyer, it's been one of the things that my clients fuss about, and I explained to them, I'm awfully sorry, there's nothing I can do because I don't get a chance to schedule it. But it is a waste of time, resources, and money. And I think it's something that can be easily addressed. So it's something I plan to address.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, listen, it's been a great opportunity to sit and chat. I know we have just a couple minutes left, so if you would, please tell us, tell everybody who's tuned in why you're the best candidate and all of that stuff.
All right. Well, let me just say that my heart is in this area of law. I appeal to everyone who's listening to please pay attention to local elections. Our local elections are the area where your lives will be most impacted. Family court is so important because our children are the future of this community. If we have someone in family court, and I believe that I am that candidate, who is thoroughly versed in family law, who loves this area of law, and who wants to serve our community in this area of law, I believe that we can make a difference. I am a board-certified family law specialist. I'm the former family court judge. I've been named a super lawyer or designated a super lawyer on the list of super lawyers from 2007 until 2012. I'm a leader. I'm innovative. I started a program called Kids First for parents who have substance abuse issues when I was in family court judge previously. I've started a self-represented parties docket. The Louisiana Supreme Court appointed me to the Judicial Leadership Institute. I was also an instructor on the domestic violence faculty, also by appointment of the Louisiana Supreme Court. And finally, in my last year as judge in 2014, I was voted chief judge by my fellow judges at the 15th Judicial District Court. I earnestly ask for your vote, for your support. Please look at my candidacy seriously. I want to continue to serve our community. And
yeah, right. Now, these are important races because they are on a huge ballot coming up November 3rd. The website is?
SusanForJudge.com.
Yes. SusanForJudge.com. And you have a Facebook page.
I also have a Facebook page, Instagram, and Twitter. So
all right.
There are lots of ways that you can get information or call my office or my campaign phone number listed on Facebook.
There you go. And tune in, check out her Facebook page, check out her website, do your research, find out what you're going to do when you get to the ballot because it's very important. Until next time, we'll be back in touch.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, ma'am.